Hello, this is JRoach82 coming at you from Hammond, Indiana. Let me get some tea. Well, today I'm going to actually talk about something that has been a question that always comes to mind. You know, it's kind of a. I'm not really a big fan. I'm not going to say that I'm not a big fan, but I do like watching martial art movies. I do like martial arts and stuff, even though I'm not a really strong believer in practicing martial arts. Nothing against anyone that practices martial arts. It's just that I'm not like one of these guys that you see banging himself up in a karate dojo anytime soon and stuff. I've always been a diehard wrestler, backyard wrestler and stuff. I've been in a lot of gruesome matches and stuff. And, you know, I always thought about, you know, if you know, I was to use some martial arts skills, I probably would have won those matches that I had, you know, being slammed through tables. But I didn't want to hurt anybody, you know, because it was for fun, you know. So I didn't want to kill somebody and stuff. But anyway, once again, I'm not really a big time martial arts fanatic. I mean, I do watch kung fu movies. I do watch videos on YouTube of karate and stuff like that and brutal martial arts. But there's always this one question I have. You know, I always think about it and stuff. Of course, Bruce Lee died I would say no, I was born in 82, Bruce Lee was died in 73. Actually, I think it was like 10, I think it was like 15 years. I was born after Bruce Lee's death and stuff. I was born after 15 years after Bruce Lee's death. Now I'm showing my age. And I used to see his movies when I was growing up and so, because they used to show Kung Fu Theater. And I saw some of his movies and I always thought, wow, this guy's a really damn good fighter. You know, he's a real tough guy. You know, and there's always the what if, like, what if Bruce Lee was still alive? You know, that's my thing. What if Bruce Lee was still alive? What would happen to the martial arts world? I think it would have been turned upside down if Bruce Lee would. I think it would have done a whole 180 and stuff. Like, you know, nowadays everyone says Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is like the best martial art. Now they give black belts out like it's candy, you know, just because you could do all, like, these movements and stuff, or break a board with your back. It's like, okay, you get a black belt. You know, and Bruce Lee was against black belts and rankings. You know, he said that, you know, anyone could get beaten on any given day. It wasn't about the forms of karate. It was about how to use the forms of karate to defend yourself and stuff. Not about trying to get a black belt and say, okay, well, no one can mess with me because I got a black belt, so I'm invincible. You know, black belts don't make you Superman. It's what you do with the it's what you do with what you learn, you know, that makes you invincible and stuff. And, you know, nowadays, you know, it's kind of funny because now they're talking about giving out rankings to Thai boxing and stuff, which, you know, Thai boxing was never a ranked system to begin with. Thai boxing was in the ring. Whoever won was better than the other person, you know, plain simple, you know. And I think they all just went haywire somewhere down right. But anyway, back to what I was saying about the what if. Well, anyway, if Bruce Lee was still alive, this is my theory. If Bruce Lee was still alive, everywhere you go, there would be a martial arts school. Not like, you know, where like every 10 or 20 miles there's a martial arts school. No. I mean, if there's a Walmart and a GameStop right in between, sandwiched in between them, would be a martial arts school. You know, when you go to Walmart, it would be like, martial arts schools would be like the Walmart of martial arts schools. There would be so many of them, you know, and they'd be franchised and stuff. You know, it'd be like Bruce Lee's Jeet Kune Do school, you know, and it would be like this big ass building and stuff where they teach all these fighting styles and weapon styles and all, and like it's all Bruce Lee's philosophy and stuff, you know. And it'd be really cool and stuff, you know. And if you wanted to be a master, you had to sit down, watch a video on how to defend yourself, and you'd be like, okay, I can do that. Okay, I'm gonna be a black belt now. No, they don't have black belts in Bruce Lee school, because that's a rank, so they wouldn't have that. I think that it'd be pretty awesome and stuff. I think Bruce Lee would have been the Sam Walton of martial arts. He would actually have run his own karate schools and stuff, you know, in ways that people be like, interesting. That's cool, you know. You know, now when you look at martial arts schools, they're so rare. You know, people always talk about like, oh, I want to go to karate school, but I can't find one in this in a 10-mile radius. All I can find is one close to such and such a city, and I don't live there. You know, but if Bruce Lee was alive, guess what? You would 5 miles, like maybe 2 miles down the road, you would find a Bruce Lee studio to go to and stuff. You know, unlike nowadays where it's so rare. You know, another thing is, I could picture Bruce Lee actually starting up his own version of UFC, which would be totally more badass than UFC. It'd be something that would be extremely, like, godly. You know, it'd be awesome. It'd be total badass, you know, and stuff. You know, it'd be like the top-ranked fighters of Bruce Lee's fighting style going up against the top-ranked fighters of another style and all, and trying to prove how tough they are, you know. Because, you know, it's funny, because this one kid, just recently, this kid was talking about UFC and stuff, right? And he told me that, he asked me a question. He goes, who do you think would win in a fight? Brock Lesnar or Anderson Silva? And I thought to myself, I was like, I don't care who would win a fight between these guys. Seriously, because I don't watch UFC, and nor do I care to watch UFC. You know, I'm sorry. It's just, to me, it's just too boring and stuff, and it puts me to sleep. You know, it's not action-packed, so I don't watch it. And I told this kid, I said, well, I said, I'll tell you one thing. I'm like, I know who they wouldn't win against. He goes, who? I'm like, Bruce Lee. Kid looked at me, kid goes, who the is Bruce Lee? I'm like, he invented a fighting style back in the 60s. He's been in a lot of movies. He's got books he's written about his fighting style and stuff. I'm like, you should really look him up. And the kid's like, oh, I don't know who that is. He's probably some old fart. I'm like, no. I'm like, he's a legend. And I just walked away and stuff. And I started thinking about it. I was like, you know, it's kind of weird that kids today don't know who Bruce Lee is, you know. They watch his movies and some people say, oh, he's an actor. You know, he does his, he just, you know, kind of like what they said in Bruce Lee, the Man, the Myth, you know, when Bruce Lee played Bruce Lee. You know, it's kind of like, oh, he don't do his own stunts. That's fake. He can't fight. And come to find out he can. So, there you go. Read his books, you know. But this is J Roach 82 signing out, saying, remember, if you see a flying spaghetti monster, stick a fork in him. He's done. Peace.